Another year, another Minecon, and I've been sitting on some thoughts about it. What do you mean it's been a month? It was a month ago. I don't care, I had pre-orders, okay? So, look, it was originally the case that Minecraft updated several times a year, and each time it updated had a couple different features, like maybe Llamas and Woodland Mansions one update, and that was the whole update. Then later on, in about 2017-ish, my first Minecon happened in 2018, there's an aquatic update happened, and they completely overhauled the ocean and made it they turned it from the worst biome in the game, as there's literally nothing there, as in, if you want gravel, there's there. Gravel's the way you get flint, I guess. I don't think anyone needs this much gravel or flint, let alone an environment where it's harder to mine. Plus, it's a pain in the ass to get across. So oceans sucked ass, so then they improved them and made them a place worth going, a place that can justify its existence, and all that, right? So in conclusion, updates became like a big deal with a whole hype cycle around them that came out as at a routine time every year with a theme in each update. Then the development of Caves and Cliffs went awry, and it's not been the same since. Both the Wild updates and the Trails and Tales updates were just random small clusters of features like what we had before, except now it took a whole year and they tried to make a whole hype cycle out of it when it really just wasn't worth it.
Also, quick intervention, please hit the like button to push the video in the algorithm, which helps me, and, you're watching my videos, so please do, and, also subscribe if you want to see more. Anyway, back to video.
Like, the Wild update added two main features, being the Deep Dark, which was a part of the Cave update they cut because the development of the Cave update was a complete clusterfuck, so not really its own original content, and then they added frogs, a passive mob that nobody really gives a shit about because they don't do nothing, and then they also added, they added mangrove trees, which is a new type of wood, and it has interesting properties as a plant. Okay, that's something interesting. Okay, and they added chest boats, which, yeah, that's a tool, so that's two worthwhile features for an entire update. Not doing too well. The following update that came out this year was a bit better, or at least less appalling. It had bamboo planks, essentially lets you use bamboo as a wood type now, which is something. It also had the cherry blossom biome, which, look, the cherry blossom biome looks pretty. It's a new biome, it's a new area in the game, but the thing about these new wood types, which is the only thing the cherry blossom biome really adds besides a new type of tree that isn't half as interesting as the mangrove trees from last year, as well as also the bamboo biome, which bamboo is older, but being able to use bamboo as wood is just new. But the thing about having these new wood types is basically, they don't do much. Yeah, they're a new type of aesthetic they're a new type of aesthetic, but they don't do anything interesting mechanically, and also, we have a lot of wood types already. Like, every update since 2020, besides Caves and Cliffs, has given us new wood. It's not really that interesting. There's also hanging signs, which it's not mechanically interesting, but it's an aesthetic thing you can do. Yeah, it's cool. I'm not gonna rag on that. That's just a good feature. Then there's camels, which are an actually useful mob. They're like horses except slower, but they can also jump, and you can place chests on them like donkeys, and you can have two people but on them, but in exchange they're harder to tame, and they're also slower. So I'd say that's a useful, interesting new feature to add, so fair. As well as there's also chiseled bookshelves, which are just bookshelves. They work like bookshelves in real life. As in normal Minecraft bookshelves, you use books in making them, and those books can never be removed. Whereas with a chiseled bookshelf, you can put books on it and take those books off, like a real bookshelf. I guess it's mechanically, it does something, so I guess it meets that qualifier, but it's also like, but it's only interesting because normal bookshelves don't work like real bookshelves to begin with. So, there's there's like 5 interesting-ish features in this, whereas there was like 2 in the previous update, so, it's an improvement, I guess, but still not worth hyping oneself up over for a year. And I was hoping that the coming update would be something cool, something to get hyped up about, a break from this trend now we're a couple years on from Caves and Cliffs. We have an upward trend so far, and I haven't thought about it in over a month. Which ain't normal. Normally game announcements for games that I give a shit about normally leave me unable to contain my hype, pacing around the house thinking about it, imagining it doing things that it probably won't, not forgetting about it. That's how marketing works and all. They're making improved dungeons after like 15 years. That's interesting. That's an interesting feature. They have, dungeons are now an actual thing you have to explore, kind of like an overworld Never Fortress. Depending on how complex this goes, this could be fun. And there are also, what's it? They're adding crafting machines. Well, not crafting machines, but like it's auto crafters. So now you can make like an in-game factory that runs all on its own. That's pretty cool. Admittedly, they could add a lot more to the update before it comes out. Like, what's it? Let me think. The Trails and Tales update was even more appalling back when they announced it last year, before they added more features this year, and we are expecting to get more features out of the Wild update as of Minecon, just from vague, like, concept art of the Birch Forest and shit, which we never got. So this update could become bigger and better, although given it doesn't have much of a theme, I mean, it technically has a theme in combat, but it's not like they've announced a whole bunch of combat-related changes, the same way the Never update was announced with a whole bunch of Never-related changes, so I don't have much faith, albeit I'm hoping to be proven wrong. And as for why this is happening, I don't know. I mean, initially for the Wild update, I assumed it was the aftermath of the Caves and Cliffs update being a development mess, possibly reorganizing internally, possibly people quitting. All kinds of disruption could have come from the Caves and Cliffs update having become an unmanageably bloated mess. But for the Trails and Tales update, I don't know why so. And for all the updates being worse and less interesting for perpetuity, I don't really have any reasons. I mean, maybe it's maybe it's corporate greed, maybe it's developer laziness or some vague ass bullshit like that. Although I'm not gonna say. I mean, people will often complain that developers are being lazy because they can't do things on the same level as modders. Because they can't. I mean, they can't do things as quickly as modders, ignoring that they don't. Just casually ignoring the fact that modders don't have to make it at the same quality as developers. Developers have to go through a million different teams whose job is to make sure that this isn't going to cause an outrage. They've got to make sure it doesn't break your system. They've got to make sure there's not too many bugs. There's much more quality assurance that devs have to go through as opposed to modders, so it makes sense that it's going to take longer, and massive groups of people don't spontaneously get lazy. But on the other hand, if there's less people hired, I could probably check that. Is there... I don't know. It seems to have gotten worse and be worse for no reason. Maybe it got worse for a while and now they're acting like it's the new standard. I don't know what it is. And I don't think there's a pointable reason. Either way, with the release of Hytale and all that happening soon, probably, this doesn't bode well. If Minecraft's updates are perpetually lamer as that's coming out, and the whole point of that is to not be perpetually lamer, yeah, it's not gonna look good in the face of that.
Okay, y'all, I'm being quiet because it's like 2 a.m. on Christmas Eve, so I'm gonna finish this and upload it. Yeah, the last video came out 2.5 weeks ago. Yeah, I am a slow bitch. Well, at least I wasn't just editing this. At least I had to write and record it. Well, I didn't write it, but I planned it and I recorded it. And yeah, considering I have a lot of stuff to do, I'm probably gonna try and do a simple video next. Just ignore that this was a simple video and it took 2.5 weeks, and also the fact that the majority of times I've tried to do a simple video, like the video on Deltarune and the Matrix, it's often come out very shitty. Just ignore those facts, haha. But yeah, I get scared about editing, freak out about it, and it just wastes a ton of time. Both one-shotism and also just general stress from it being new. I am getting back into the groove of things. Well, hopefully the next video will be out soon. I swear it won't be about Minecraft again. Bye all.